Hi guys, how are you all doing? Welcome to my YouTube channel Spill the Beans right now with Dr. Rakhi Krishna. Today's special, we're going to be talking about how to apply for UK student visa. So let's get started. So before you plan about when to apply, you need to understand there are two main intakes for UK, which includes September intake as well as the Jan intake. September intake is the major intake where most of the universities open up for most of the courses that you prefer. Jan intake is much like a small intake. There will be fewer courses and fewer universities which go for Jan intake. So I personally went for the September intake. I started preparing for it from somewhere around March. Usually, if you want to apply for a September intake, I would say that you should start preparing from Jan to April is what is the time period. So my course had a deadline of somewhere around March end, so I had to do something by March in order to get the admission. Personally, I didn't do my admission for filling and all the sorting because I was working then and I had given it to an agency who did the application filling and things. So what are the requirements? Requirements includes academic transcripts. Academic transcripts for me, because I had completed my course 1 year ahead and I was working, I had all my academic transcripts, academic original copies with me. So if you are studying right now, or if you haven't got your academic certificates from the university, what you can do is you can go and request the university for a transcript, which can be given as a soft copy in a PDF, which can be used for the application. That is completely fine, but I had uploaded my original copies as a PDF. Another thing that you required is the letter of reference, the LOR. LOR is very important. It kind of highlights your personality and your background. It is a letter that is issued by your principal or from work. So it kind of gives a background how this person was from this time period to time period, and which is very important. So actually I would request you guys to take one letter from your principal and one from your workplace if you're working right now, which kind of helps you a lot. The third point I would say is the SOP. SOP is so important. I can't emphasize enough, because the admission in the abroad countries and like especially in UK does not mainly depend upon your academic transcripts, but majorly on the SOP. In the SOP, it is very important to write about who you are, your background, what are your interests, what is your long-term goal, career goal, and why are you choosing this particular course, why this course particularly in this university, and why particularly in UK. So you need to have a kind of story that needs to be written down on your background as well as your interest in the course and the college and this country. So this is so important that you're going to be getting your admission based on your SOP, and as well as the letter of reference and also the academic transcript, but you should emphasize on your SOP. Fourth thing is the IELTS, which is very subjective because some universities may or may not require IELTS, but for me the IELTS was required. So if when you start applying for your or when you start planning itself, I would suggest that you guys can start preparing for your IELTS, because it is very nice that you can start preparing and then take your leisure time and prepare for it. So by that time you will be prepared, and while you're applying you can go and write your test and it will all be done in a very good timeline. So one of the important things that you need to know about IELTS is that once you're done with your IELTS, your results will come within probably 15 to 20 days. So that will come as a result in a website, the IELTS website. But you cannot just take a screenshot or a photo of that particular result and upload it to the college. That is not enough, because after after the results have come, within like 2 to 3 weeks you will get your the hard copy in which your results are there. I think it is called as a TCR certificate or something. I'm not sure about that, but you need to have that, and you need to take a PDF. You need to make a scan copy or something and send that particular hard copy as a PDF or a scan copy to the college. So that is accepted. You cannot just take a screenshot of the website and upload it. Another, okay, so that's done. And after that, all of these things are done. There are sometimes, there are questions like, can we upload our CV, can we upload what all publications, all extracurricular activities that we had done. It is all very subjective. It is all up to you, and how many columns that you have in your so-called portal, the college portals. So you can do that, or maybe not do that, but these 4 things are really important, like the SOP, the LOR, the academic transcripts, as well as the IELTS, which may be or may not be required. So after this is done comes the acceptance. So for the acceptance, there are 2 things that you need to know. There is an unconditional acceptance and a conditional acceptance. Conditional acceptance is something that your confirmation to the college is based upon some condition. So my condition here was that I had to meet my IELTS, as well as pay a deposit of £2,000 to the college. So by the time the conditional letter had come, my IELTS TCR certificate, I think it's a TCR, that was ready, and so I just uploaded it to the portal again and sent it back, and I got my unconditional offer within 2 to 3 weeks. So the unconditional offer is something that your seat has been reserved for you, your admission has been confirmed. So that is the final verdict. There are people, sometimes they may be waiting upon conditional to get into unconditional for a long time, but you need to keep following up. You cannot leave it for the last moment. So once this is all done, you're accepted to the university. Now comes the other part. Now comes the long wait. Now you're going to be waiting for something called as the CAS letter, that is Confirmation and Acceptance Studies letter. This is very important letter. Unless you get this letter, you cannot apply for the UK visa. So this usually comes, according to my understanding, when you're going for a September intake, you're going to be getting your CAS letter probably by June end or July mid. So that is the timeline. And if you're coming for a Jan intake, you're going to be getting it by November end or December-ish, December mid or something. So that's how the CAS letter comes. So you have a lot of time. Once that you have done with all the admission procedure, something that gets over by April, you have a long wait till June, July. So what you need to do right now is to go and get your bank things sorted. So bank includes your living expense as well as your fee amount that needs to be shown as a savings account or an FD account in your own account, or your father's or mother's account, as a, like, if they are allowing you to use that. It is okay, completely fine, because I showed all of this money as savings as well as FD in my own account. If there are people who are going to be using their father's or mother's account, you can show that account, but you just need to have a consent letter from them saying that they are allowing you to take this particular bank account for this academic use. So you just need to get that sorted. So this fees as well as the living expense. The living expense, again, it can be based on your inner London or if you're going for outer London. So both are 2 different fee amounts, and you need to show the whole thing, that is a fee as well as the living expense, together or separately as savings or FD, for a total of 28 days. So 28 days can go up to 30 days, but not more than that. You do need not show like 2 months, 3 months. That is absolutely not required. The adequate amount is just 28 days. So after this is done, so you are sure that you have maintained the savings or the total amount, which includes the tuition fees as well as your living expense, you can go to your bank and ask them for the certificates or a letter. So the bank issues letters based on your savings account. This has been maintained from this time period to this time period, as well as for the FD as well. They issue a certificate or a FD letter. So you need to make sure that these are all in the letterheads or as well as it is signed and sealed by the bank. Just make sure that you're not taking a 1 month old or 2 months old. Make sure that as your appointment, visa appointment is like suppose near a particular date, make sure that you take these letters from the bank in a closer date, so it does not, it kind of issues the credibility to the amount that you have maintained for a long time, which is really good. Don't go for something that is very old date. Yeah. And so now after that, after this is all done, you have everything ready, you have your IELTS ready, you have your academic transcripts, you have your bank letters, you have everything, you have your acceptance letter from your college. Now comes the CAS. After CAS come, just make sure that all the details in your CAS is all correct. You cannot be in a hurry. Once the CAS come, make sure you check everything, and if there are some errors, please revert to your college and you can get it corrected. So after this CAS has arrived, everything is correct, you have to start your visa filing. So visa filing, correctly enter all the details, do the IHS payment as well as the visa payments. The IHS and the visa payment can be done through a card which has the international credit activated in it. And once this is all done, you can go for the appointment. So choose a nearest appointment date or whatever is convenient for you. And after this is all done, on your appointment date, please carry a few things, very important things to the visa VFS office. You cannot leave back things in your hand at home and then worry about it. When you go there, you can choose if you want a standard visa or a priority visa or super priority visa. So there are rates based on that, and standard visa, you get your visa within 15 days. Priority visa gets you the visa within 7 days, but in my case I got it like within 3 to 4 days. And super priority is that you get it in 1 day. So it all depends upon you guys if you want to be taking that this is only applicable when you go to the VFS office. You cannot choose it through the website. And after that, when you go there, you have to be carrying your visa appointment mail, the IHS payment mail, the visa payment mail, all of these along with your transcripts, the CAS letter, the acceptance letter, IELTS letter, then all the other important things that you think are relevant to prove that your application is complete and there are no errors or discrepancies within your application. You just have to make sure that you're carrying everything. After going there, your biometrics as well as your photographs will be taken. You don't have to carry any passport size photo or anything. Everything will be taken there. And after that, there you can choose an option whether you need a mail, so that the passport or the whatever details are collected from you will be sent back through mail, or do you want to in-personally go and collect your passport from the VFS office. So you can choose that, any of them. I had chosen in the mail option. So your passport at the final of all these things, your passport along with all the other application will be collected and will be sealed and sent to the visa officer. After that, your work is done. You have to go back home and wait. This wait is like a long wait. You have no idea what is happening. In some cases, if there are some problems or there are like they want to know more about you, something is missing, there may be chances of an interview. We didn't have any interview. Our batch, like when we came through the September intake this year in 2021, we didn't have any interviews, but there are chances of interviews. So you cannot like completely nullify that this will not be happening, there will be no interviews, but you can just be prepared. So once that you have given your passport, there is no way that you can know what is the result, is it successful or unsuccessful. You cannot mail the visa officer or VFS or anything. You can just wait. So once wait will be over, once you get your passport in your hand, either by going and collecting it directly there in the VFS office or by in hand. When you get your passport, you open your passport and check if there is an emblem or there is a visa stamp on it. That means your application has been successful and your visa is ready. So this visa is going to be like for 3 months. After you come here, you have to convert, you will be getting your BRP card, that is a biometric residence permit. that is your 1 month, 1 year and 6 months visa, and that is what is going to be the ultimate one. But just the visa that is stamped in your passport is your 3 months visa, which allows you to enter the country. So that is like a very brief overall way how I can summarize the UK student visa thing. And I know I have missed out so many intricate details and so many things, like, because I could not include all of them here. But I'm open, like I would love to reply to all the comments and questions that you guys have when you post it under the video. I'll be happy to reply to them. And if you guys want to like know more about some of the things that I have missed out, you can always put it here and we can talk about it. And one of the major thing that I want to share is I would like to share format of the letter of reference, as well as the letters that I had collected from my banks. So just showing a format of how it should look like, because it creates a lot of confusion by the time you are applying. So we just don't want that, and I will be providing you with some of the basic outline thing under the video. And SOP is very subjective. I cannot provide you with that, because the story as well as the stream questions of the universities, everything kind of changes, and it is very subjective. I don't think it'll be helpful if I share my SOP, but if you guys want it, you can just mention. Maybe I can like try finding out how to like edit out my things and maybe post it here. So that's about it, and that is how you can apply for the UK student visa. There are more videos coming about which college I'm studying, how was the journey of my admissions, and also about what are the career paths that we can take, as well as the abroad studies and all the things that you need to know, pros and cons, everything. So just stay tuned.